Welcome back to Schmattz Outdoors. We're just getting the truck loaded, ready to go. I'm glad I checked a couple things before I left here, but we'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. But last night I got the coyote and badger that I got caught yesterday. I got them skinned. I washed the badger, so I ended up with 3 because I had taken 2 out and washed them before I left yesterday. So last night I got the fox and coyote from the day before, that coyote I caught yesterday, and 3 badgers all fleshed and put up. Took me about 3 hours, maybe just a touch less, to get them all fleshed and on stretchers, so wasn't too bad. I mean, I didn't work at it super hard. I don't feel like I got to kill myself right now to get fur put up. You know, I'm not trying to put up 100 furs a day. Last year it got to be kind of crazy, but this year it's pretty relaxed. I got quite a bit of time to get a little bit of fur left that I got in my freezer put up. So I do have some skunks taken out that I didn't get to last night, so those will get fleshed tonight. And then hopefully I got some catches for you guys, so anything I catch today will try and get put up tonight as well. So it's probably the nicest morning I've had almost this entire trapping season today. There's like no wind or very little wind, and I guess I didn't even look, it's like close to 30 degrees out right now, so it's comfortable outside. Across the lake the deer season opened up, so there might be a few bangs in my video here, but yeah, and the turkeys are coming up into the yard. But yeah, I don't know, just out of curiosity, I'm like, I should check how much urine I have. So I filled this yesterday and I added 6 sets plus I remade 3. So I used, 2/3 of a pint of urine just yesterday. And then for peat moss, I don't know if I filled it on the line. I must have one time, but you can see I literally got 3/4 of an inch, probably enough to make 1 set if I'm lucky. So we'll get that guy remade, and then I don't know if you can see, but there's a big old crack right there and right up here. I think that's from having my auger setting in there. So normally I usually have my auger setting like that, and then I throw this in either that way or this way. It just kind of depends on how I set it in there. But I kind of wonder if the auger pushing on the side of it didn't crack my container. So we're going to try and, I might throw a piece of tape over that crack, just a piece of duct tape for today. If I can get through roughly the next week, next season we'll start with a brand new container. I know that sounds kind of cheap and frugal of me. I do actually have extra containers I bought a few years ago, so I could easily do it. But I'd rather, this one here smells like peat moss already. The other one, are brand new. They're going to smell like plastic and that type of stuff, and I don't know, kind of contaminate my peat moss. So we'll rinse them out and do some work on them to get them kind of clean before I start throwing peat moss in them. But yeah, so before I leave here, we're going to fill those 2 back up. I have a gallon of urine in my truck here. It's setting kind of up in front of that tote. You can just see the cap of it up there. I threw it in the last couple days because I was adding sets, and I thought, well, there's a chance I'm going to run out of urine, adding as many sets as I did. So we'll fill that up, and then I'm actually going to leave the gallon here. I don't want to, accidentally puncture a hole or something in there, and then my truck's going to smell like that. And I don't want it inside my truck either, so, in case it would happen to spill. So we're going to just fill my urine bottle, and then we'll leave the gallon here. Because in a typical day running my line, if I have enough catches that I use up a whole bottle of urine, we're going to have a truckload. So, all right, I think that's about it. Like I said, I don't really plan on adding any sets today. We'll kind of see how it goes as we get out on the line. maybe again towards the end of my line, kind of like I've been doing the last couple days. I run most of what I have and then added kind of towards the end. I may do that again. I think today we're going to run my line backwards because a couple of those little field roads could get muddy later on because it's supposed to warm up today. So we're going to try and get to them first or earlier in the line when they still might be hard and firmed up from it being below freezing overnight. So, all right, let's get out there on the line. All right, guys, we're out on the line. I've checked 6 coyote sets in a weasel box. Now I'm in the bottom of basically just a little wooded draw with a little creek running through it. Normally this is dry this time of year. And I've had sets here. I don't catch a lot of animals on this side. This spring I ended up catching a raccoon in here, and then I had one up here closer to where the culvert goes under the road. I maybe should have put a dog proof on both sides, had one over there and one over here. I don't know. There is a trail. I'm kind of standing right on it. It kind of goes right up through here, up this way. But today I got myself a skunk. It's the first one in probably like close to 2 weeks, so kind of surprised to see him all curled up laying there. But yeah, so like I said, just a little creek bottom. Skunk apparently got warm enough last night for skunks to move. Maybe the raccoons moved too, and I can maybe get one of them again today. But yeah, like I said, I'm a little surprised to catch one of these today. So new experience for me catching one. This is probably the latest in the season I've actually caught a skunk, to be honest with you. Usually it's cold enough that they're either I get them thinned out or they kind of quit moving, or both. So all right, my hands are getting cold here. We're gonna get this guy dispatched quickly, hopefully, without him spraying. He looks pretty chill, so maybe I can get him dispatched without him fighting it too much, and we'll get him packed up and out of here, and we'll keep moving on. All right, guys, so we're a little ways through the line today. Or not, probably a quarter of the way. Maybe not even that. This is a set that I just added yesterday. So I got this picked bean field here. You can see like there's water here, there's water right over there. Like right here, there's water in the rows of the beans. And I think that's the only reason why they haven't worked this field up. I've been waiting to put my sets out here, thinking that they'd get this field worked. I finally decided yesterday, you know what, if they work my set under, they work it under. We're gonna get a set out here either way, because I do catch coyotes out here, out along these pine trees. Usually about by this gap over here, I have a coyote set kind of on the hill, and it's high enough I can see it from the road to see if there's anything in it. And then I usually have this set up over here a little bit. But I knew I wasn't gonna be able to drive right to this one because of the water that's right here. My truck's about as close as I want to get it. The field is fairly hard. But yeah, so today, I just set this yesterday. So one night, and there we go. We got ourselves a nice, beautiful red fox. He's kind of paler in color compared to maybe some of them, but looks like a real well-furred, beautiful fox. Like just how he's sitting there, you can see real good how the gray butt kind of affects the quality of the fur. Like his sides and his neck are real poofy, but his butt and like all the way up the center of his back is kind of flat looking. And it just, that part of that hair just never poofs up. But that's the kind of fox I have around here. Almost everyone has it to some extent. It's just this one here seems like he's got it probably as bad as they get it. So I think it's called frosty butt or gray butt or what, I don't know. There's a few different names for it, but all right. Well, all there was too is just one little puff of grass like this. So there was just one puff of grass. I had like my dirt hole like right here and then my trap right there. I didn't really block any of the rest of it off. I just had my dirt hole kind of under that grass. That's all there was for a backing here. You know, super natural backing. But yeah, I'll just use some of this torn up, you know, grass and stuff is just a rough backing now. But yeah, nice red fox in there. This one here makes number 9 for the year for me, and that is a record for me. I've never caught 9 fox in a season. I'm not even 100% sure that I've caught 8 in a season. I've caught 7 a couple times, but I don't know if I've ever caught 8. And I was going to mention that when I caught the last one, I forgot. So, but this is definitely a record. I've never caught 9 fox in a season. I just wish they were worth a little more. You know, like, I'll be lucky to get $10 average out of my fox, and they all look pretty nice this season. So it's kind of a shame. I don't mind there being fox around, to be quite honest with you. I wish there was honestly more of them around and less coyotes, but all right. Well, I think I may not, be able to take credit for it, but I kind of think taking 42 coyotes last season and kind of the super dry spring and stuff we had, I think really knocked the coyote numbers down. I mean, obviously you've seen I'm not catching a lot of coyotes. I'm up to 12 now. I got 9 fox, but only 12 coyotes. So, and again, I think I mentioned before, usually I'm about 5 to 1 or something like that, coyotes to fox. So, all right, enough jabbering on. We'll get this guy taken out of here. Like I said, one night is all this set was here. So if it's good enough to set it, you might as well set it. I don't know. Come in a couple days here, come even tomorrow, after tomorrow, I probably won't be adding any more sets. I don't know. It just, to me, where I would be adding them probably, high percentage spots to catch something, and for them only being there roughly a week, to me it isn't hardly worth getting them set up. Like I said, this one I can drive out to, but a lot of them I have to walk to, so I got to be kind of cognitive of, if I put them there, I got to also be able to go out and get them and, somewhat short order to get my whole line pulled. So, all right, we'll get him out of here. We'll get moved on. All right, guys. Well, this isn't what I want to pull up to, I'll tell you. So I'm by this little chunk of CRP grass, so it's about 100 yards square right on the corner of these roads. So I have these set on slide wires to get my catch off of the edge of the field, because they just stand here and bounce around and people can see them from the road. So I put them on slide wires to get them out in the grass, and then I put these gray fence posters, one right here, and then I stood this one back up already, but this one here was knocked down. This trap was all the way out to the end, and that pole was way on the other side of the catch circle, so something was caught for a bit, but you can see there's just a little puff of kind of white looking hair. I can't really tell what it is, but so I get this one slid back up, and I look over and I could see, this is where my trap should have been. This trap was laying over there like that, and I'm like, oh crap, this was just a flat set. I had Castor and Gusto right here. Well, I pick it up and look, there's a stick. That's my there's a stick jammed in there, and you can see the white kind of hair there too. This almost looks like raccoon hair. I'm not real sure, but when I pop that trap open, I'll take a little better look, but I don't know how a little stick got jammed in there. But this is why I don't like offset traps, because if that trap, if a normal trap that didn't have a stick in it, obviously had offset jaws in there, that's how big the gap is, and my animal would have been gone anyway. So that's why I like closed jaw traps. You try not to get sticks in them. If that was an offset jaw with a stick in it, that gap would have been a ½ inch wide, and pretty much anything would have got out, a coyote or anything. So yeah, a pair of misses here, and then I'm pretty sure there was fox here. I might even be fox and raccoon. So right here looks like fox tracks, muddy fox track here and here. And I'm not gonna really walk. Oh, I guess I could walk over here. So these look like either fox or coyote tracks right there, and they're fairly fresh. Like that one was from last night for sure. So I may have lost the coyote in here, but, and then over here, you can see this whole thing is just covered in mud. I don't know. Yeah, it's definitely dog tracks. I mean, like right there, you could see it's dog tracks. So I might have educated a couple here, and I'm not happy about it at all. So all I can do, I guess, is we'll get these two remade. We'll remake the one that didn't have catches in it first, so my hands are fairly clean when I'm touching that trap. We'll get her bedded back in the ground here, and then we'll remake that one over there too, and rebaiting where the hole works, and we'll be moving on. But well, that's a shame. I can't really say that both of these happened the same day, because this one was set off and just drug in and my pole wasn't knocked over. It could have been set off a few days ago, you know, and I can't see when I check it from the road if it's just set off like that. Once in a while, if the trap is set off, I can see my white pan cover, and that'll tip me off that my trap's set off, but I couldn't see this one. So it might have been two different times, but I for sure had a catch over there and pulled my pole out. You know, it's tore up enough from the catches I've made in that set, I can't tell what it was. So with all the dog tracks that are fresh in the snow here, I'm assuming that's what it was. So like I said, we'll get these remade. Gosh darn it. I mean, that's trapping for you. You don't get every one, but gosh darn it, if you finally convince them to step on your trap, I'd like them to be here waiting for me when I show up. So yeah, I don't have a lot of pullouts, I'll tell you. So especially not in these MB550s. So the fact that I got two here is strange, to say the least. You know, and I don't think anybody was here and messed with my sets or anything like that. There's no sign of any other traffic here. So it just two pullouts. Must not have had either one caught good, and this one's got a sticks jammed in it, so that helped the jaws stay open. But all right, we'll get them remade and move on. All right guys, so I haven't ever showed you this place before. So we got an abandoned farm place on this side, kind of over this way. We got kind of abandoned farm place over here, and then I got a creek that runs through here, clips through here. And I haven't been driving by here yet until yesterday, so I decided, well, we'll throw some raccoon sets in, because I have caught raccoons, more so on the other end of this ditch where it cuts across. There's a road like right here, and there's like a trail goes this way down there. Kind of looks like it goes up this way, it goes down here. So I dropped in a dog proof right here, and then that trail keeps going. There's a hole there, and I put a 220 right here where it looked like they're going up, and then this big tree is hollow. I'm assuming this stump here is hollow, and then that big tree there is hollow. So I figured, well, maybe there's some raccoons hanging out in this tree, because you kind of look like this whole area is just trampled down in here. I even thought about putting a dog proof right here, but I decided I'd just go one over there and one here. And I put another conibear on the other side where this creek, it looked like there's one trail going over the road. But today, that one's still working, and my conibear here's got a skunk in it. So apparently the skunk's moved a little bit. He smells too. Not terrible, but catching him in a conibear in a 220 is almost too big a trap for a skunk, honestly. They tend to spray, not every time, but almost every time. So that's two for the day. I haven't caught one in a while, and now I got two today. So, but this was just one night. I just sat it yesterday, put this trap here yesterday. So at least getting a couple catches on camera for you guys today. So we'll get this guy out of there, and we'll get it remade, and we'll be on our way. Well guys, I'm literally just down. I had that skunk caught like right over here. I'm about a half mile down, and then I'm out on this field. And then the last coyote that I added yesterday is about a mile over this way. I haven't checked yet, obviously. But I got myself another catch. What I got is just a chunk of CRP grass, but this year they mowed most of it. I don't know if it was weedy or whatever. When it was dry this summer, they must have cut down on much of the brush as they could. They even got mowed through the cattails right here. And then down here is that same ditch that runs up, and right where I had that skunk, it runs out here. Normally I would have a coyote set where this fence line, there's a fence line right here, goes up to them trees or by the road. And right where this fence line meets that grass down there, I'd have a set too, but I thought I was already kind of tempting my luck driving my truck to where I'm at here, because there's some real kind of low dippy spots in here, and I just did not want to push my luck, and I can't see out there. That's part of it too. So last year, to check these sets, I drove like kind of out across the hill to like way out over here someplace, so I could see this one down here. And I was every day I had to drive out there. I'm like, you know, I am not doing that this year. We're not gonna drive that far out there every day to check these, even though the season's winding down. But if we get just a little rain or a little bit of snow, this set I can walk out to, you know, I can check this one from the road. I could see it from the road, and I could walk out here to take care of it if I had to. I just drove out here yesterday, so I knew the field was fine. It's, you know, nice and dry and almost powdery on top from being froze. So it really wasn't bad. It didn't even hardly leave tracks in the field, but it's real humpity bumpity. But what I did is right here on the corner, I added a coyote set. I had it, coyote set's kind of right here. And you can see I got a real nice fox again. So 2 sets I just added yesterday produced 2 fox today. So again, this is a personal best for me. That's the 10th fox for the season for me right there, which is just almost dumb. I mean, I know I say that about a lot of things. I'm to the point where I kind of don't want to catch the fox anymore. If there's that many of them around, apparently you know, there's a lot less coyotes around this year than there has been in the past. So, which I'm good with that too. So yeah, we'll get this guy out of here and we'll get the set remade. He was just kind of laying here in a ball, but being bright red, I don't know how they ever survive out in the wild, because I didn't even have to use the binoculars, and I'm like, oh, I think there's something in my set out there, because I could see him just sitting here kind of glowing in the sun. So all right, we'll get him out of here. Like I said, there's number 10 for the year for me, a new personal best in the season. So hopefully this is the last one for the season, as dumb as that is to say. I'd rather be coyotes bouncing around in this trap than this nice fox. But all right, guys, so we're back at the house here. We got everything else checked. Where I had the second fox, I only had just a handful of sets left. I had one here around my farm that was just set off in the trap bed. Who knows, honestly. I get 1 or 2 like that every year, so I don't know whether the pan tension was monkeyed with, or I just didn't have the pan set up on the night latch tight enough or something. I don't know, honestly. It does happen. I remade, I think, 3 or 4 other ones, and then I got the 2 or maybe 3 other ones, and then I got the 2 fox today. So we'll give you a look. This one here was the first one. And like I said, he's really got kind of the gray butt on him. I didn't realize how much difference in size. This was the second one here. Let's get them a little closer to each other. I mean, that one there is quite a bit bigger than this one here. So I don't know if this is just a young of the year. Feels like a female. So we got a female and a male. That might be the difference. But this one here has really got like the gray butt really down around his hips on the back. This one doesn't have it quite as bad, but that one there is quite a bit darker red than this one, and probably better furred. I mean, he just looks like he's thicker, heavier furred. So this one here may be a pup from this year. That one there is definitely an adult male. So even like, look at like how bright this part of it is compared to this one. So yeah, I don't know, got 2 nice fox today. That makes 10 for the year now. I won't do this, honestly, but like, after I caught that second one, as I was driving and finishing the last few traps to check, I was thinking to myself, like, God, if I catch another one, should I just let the thing go? Like, out of all the animals I trap, fox are the one animal that I think it'd be cool to have running around. I know they do just as much damage to pheasants and ducks and everything else as, you know, the raccoons and skunks and that type of stuff, but I don't know. I don't want to catch every fox in the country either. The nice thing is I've been catching them pretty well scattered out throughout my whole line. I mean, so in, I don't know, roughly 75 to 80 miles a whoop I'm doing right now. You know, so it's not like I'm catching, you know, a bunch in one spot. I did have where I had the coyote kill that one. I caught one in that same set, you know, like a day or two later. And then this one here, the second one I caught, was only about a mile-ish from that. Maybe a mile and a quarter or something like that. It was kind of angled across the field essentially. So I kind of showed you where that ditch run across there, where I was catching those, where I caught the one that the coyotes killed. It was only like a half mile from the ditch on the other side. So that's kind of a close area there, but otherwise most of the rest of these like are scattered, you know, 10 miles in between each one. But it's cool to see they're around. I'd like to think that catching 42 coyotes last year, and I'm sure there was guys out hunting them all winter and different things, so definitely put a hurting on the coyote numbers, which looks like it helped the fox numbers around here. And I have kind of seen an increase in fox the last couple years too, because I caught 7 last year. And usually I catch like around 5-ish, you know, on average each year. So maybe getting rid of a few of the coyotes is helping out the fox population. But yeah, so I don't know. I won't probably let one go if I catch one, you know, but the thought is there that, like, you know, I don't want to catch everyone in the country, you know, leave a few for seed, and I don't think any of the farmers around would really complain at all if they heard that I let one go, or if I told them I let one go, but I probably won't do it. Like I said, I go through all the work to make the sets and everything else. Be nice to get rewarded a little bit, even though they're not worth that much, get rewarded a little bit for my catch. So, and I also was thinking, I don't know if I've ever caught 2 fox in one day. I don't really know that I got any records written down anywhere that would tell me that, so this may be the first time I've ever caught 2 fox in one day as well. So kind of breaking records all over. I got fox number 9 and 10, which are both personal bests for me, and 2 in one day. Oh, and I did get over here, I already sat them over here in these 2 bags here. There's 2 skunks over there. So kind of thought I was done with the skunks for the season, but apparently that wasn't the case either. I guess I don't know that I'm going to skin either one. I can look at them. They both kind of stunk when I took them out of the trap, but the way I see it, if I take one out right now, that might be like a half dozen less next year, because they won't be having babies. So, I mean, I guess that's true only for the females, but you need a male to breed a female. So if I take all the males too, the females won't get bred, and there'll be that many less skunks next year. It's kind of my hope. So, and I think that might get me real close to 30 skunks for the year. If I didn't make 30 today, I'm real close. So I don't know. And still no weasel. That's the one animal that I haven't caught yet this year in my area that I can. I don't think there's a lot of them around, but I have 5 boxes out. One of them was set off again today, so I think a mouse was messing with me, but hopefully I'll get him caught, the mouse caught, or catch a weasel there first. And then if I catch one weasel, I'm going to pick up all my boxes and be done weasel trapping. So, all right, we'll just give you one more quick look. I think that's everything I got for today. Like I said, this guy here is quite a bit darker, and that looks like a really nice fox. This one here, like I said, he isn't, like, you can even see, like, on the side, like, he doesn't quite have the thickness of the guard hairs that, like, that guy has. That guy's really poofy. Anyway, I just want to thank you guys for watching Schmattz Outdoors again. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up because I caught a personal best today. You know, you got to look for little small wins every day. Catching 2 fox in a day is pretty awesome. Both of them were in sets that I was going to point that out too. Both of these were in sets that I put out yesterday, literally one day, and they made catches. There are some guys out there, and I kind of subscribe to the theory that you got to kind of let your sets settle in a little bit, so usually a few days before you really start making catches in them. These 2 are proof that that's not the case. Yesterday I had a badger in a set that I just put out the day before. So now, like, in the last 2 days, I put out 17 new sets. So, you know, hopefully if they have to settle in, hopefully in the next couple days here, those will start paying off a little bit too. But 2 fox and a badger out of the sets that more than paid for my bait and lure that I did, you know, use to make those sets. So I'm broke even now. Like I said, if I make one more catch, I'm ahead. Even if I don't, it doesn't matter. So, all right. I think that's all I got. We'll see you guys out on the line tomorrow.